Scully a link. I don't think we're going to get him tonight. He has a prior engagement, but if he can make it, I'd just send him a link in case. Would be good to catch up with him on that fight.
100%.
You know, boxing fans
what never a fight, man.
Boxing fans never cease to amaze me with how dumb they really can be. You know, the fact that there's a contingency that would call a fight like that a robbery, it just shows an utter lack.
Who called it a robbery?
It's all over the web. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's all over the web. Yeah.
I only saw it once.
The general consensus seems to be that it was a robbery. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Well, I'm not in that consensus. I thought it was judged beautifully.
I thought it was judged beautifully as well. If it had gone Bivol's way, I would have been disappointed, but I wouldn't have called it a robbery. I would have said anything that's a fight that's that close. I mean, Bivol at the end was literally hanging on for dear life. He was in a lot of pain.
The draw would have been a gift.
The draw would have been a gift. At the end of that fight, one man was inflicting serious fucking damage on the other, and the other was just trying to survive. And if you look at
that makes me think of
what do you got?
What separates the men from the boys? 15 rounds.
Yeah, that fight would have been a perfect. I think Beterbiev actually said he wished fights were 25 rounds after that.
Oh yeah.
Because he looked at that end of that fight, he didn't look gassed even slightly. And
didn't even start. Hadn't even got going.
Was just getting going, and Bivol was done. And if you look at Beterbiev's style, you know, he really doesn't waste any motion at all. He's an efficiency machine. He hunts.
Sharp as
his
a tack.
Fundamentals are tight. There's no dancing. His head movement is slight to the left, slight to the right. His glove movement's perfect. There's no fluff in there. There's no inefficiency. Bivol is almost a perfect boxer, but his style, because he doesn't have much power, requires a lot more movement in order for him to be at his best. And
I can't speak for the punches. You know, punch for punch.
You could see it. What do you mean, the power?
No, I'm talking about literal amateur style punch for punch. How many punches landed?
I think Beterbiev landed 4 less total punches in the entire fight. So it was very
so it was judged completely on ring generalship, really.
Yeah, yes, and controlled aggression. Correct.
That's what ring generalship is.
Same shit. Yeah. I mean,
part of the aggressiveness.
Yeah, part of the same horse, right? It's like, and if you looked at it, he was the one that was pushing the action the entire fight.
100%.
I thought Bivol is maybe the most beautiful at his best before he got the shit kicked out of him and couldn't move in the last few rounds. What a fucking masterful boxer that guy is.
Absolutely. I didn't understand. He had a tactic of coming out very early for the first 30 seconds and pressing the fight and doing his best to back Beterbiev up. And it would take so much out of him that by the end of the round, Beterbiev had regained the momentum. And he had to get to the fucking break, you know, he was just surviving.
Brilliant observation. A lot of rounds started with Bivol winning and ended with Beterbiev winning. A lot. And if you think about it, it makes sense for Bivol's strategic camp. They wanted to try to turn it into a boxing match in the middle of the ring. And Team Beterbiev, and this is what I would love to talk to Scully about, they had a different idea. They weren't going to stand in the middle of the ring. They knew that gives the edge to Bivol. So what they did is they suck their pit bull and said, go hunt, and put him into the corner, eat his jab. In the first few rounds, Bivol was
that you I was talking to? I was texting. We said he's being hunted.
Yes, that was me. He was being hunted, and
100% being hunted.
In the early rounds, Bivol was like giving everything he had to make that jab sting. And towards the end of the fight, he gave it up because it wasn't going well. Beterbiev had timed the jab, and the jab wasn't doing jack shit to slow this Terminator down. That just
It,
worked through it, right?
it
Go ahead.
reminds me when I used to spar William Joppy. That's how it was. I could put a minute and a half together and outbox the shit out of him. But the constant pressure and him being a little stronger, it just wore me fucking down. And by the end of the round, I was up against the ropes and he was whooping my ass.
Yeah, that we saw a much stronger fight. That's a great point, by the way.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I was better or whatever, but I could put 30 seconds together and outbox him, you know?
Yeah, no, 100%. That's what happened here. You saw Bivol would put it together. He actually had a few moments that reminded me of Ray Leonard, where he would, when he felt like he needed to win a round or make a moment, he would make a moment and throw 15 punches in a row and do them real fast as a flurry, sometimes to end the round, which I always loved that Leonard would steal rounds like that. I always thought it was brilliant.
Steal those rounds. That's what he did to Hagler.
Just stole them from Hagler, just with a flurry that most of the punches didn't even need to land. If one did at the end of the round, that's what sticks in the judges' heads. They're like, look, that was incredible. And it was fun to watch.
He was a master at cutting work down to he probably worked a minute around each fight.
Brilliant. And that minute was exciting.
Yeah.
And that's
and he was the aggressor.
Yeah, during that minute, he was the guy dictating the action. It's a
every trick in the book, walking behind the referee, fucking making the referee tell him he's got to go back to his corner at the beginning of the round, which wastes 5, 6, 8 seconds, however you want to do it, you know, spilling water in the corner, you gotta mop it up, Angelo. So that was I got to hear that from Angelo, the different little things, you know. It was
anything else that you can think of, because that's fascinating. So he was literally trying to, because that's back when they had 15-round fights. So he was trying to
no, that was a 12 rounder.
Okay, so he's trying to cut it down to a 10-rounder just by stealing.
No,
or 9. Yeah. Trying to steal 30 seconds to a minute around.
Hagler wanted 15 rounds. They negotiated to 12. Leonard was coming off a long layoff, off of retirement. He got the 12 rounds, and I remember he would say, Angelo would say, every round when it's seconds out, you know what seconds out is?
Yeah, 10 like 10 seconds, right? No, is that what you know? What do you mean seconds out?
You don't know what seconds out is at the end of the round? At the end of the break?
No. What is seconds out? What is
seconds
that?
out? Seconds out does not mean 10 seconds. Seconds out is the referee telling the seconds, the trainers, the chief second and the other second. That's what they're called. The trainers are called seconds.
Okay.
So it's seconds out of the ring.
Oh, okay. Which basically means the round's getting ready to start.
Round's getting ready to start. So what was I saying? What was I saying about seconds out? Oh yeah. Well, so when it's seconds out, just start walking towards the middle of the ring. The referee's got to stop, take you back, put you in the corner, and you maybe you waste 10, 15 seconds before the round even starts.
That's incredible. What other tricks were common? So you got the seconds out, walk to the middle of the ring, make the referee do extra work, waste 10, 15. You mentioned pouring water. What is that? Explain that.
Well, you make a mess in the corner when you get ice or water in the corner, and then so the round starts, and then the referee has to stop it. Come in here, clean this up. You've seen that before.
But they're running the clock. The round clock is running during the cleanup.
I mean, it's any little fucking thing to just disrupt and 2, 3, 4 seconds here and there, because it adds up to minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. That's what else you got?
He, I don't even, off the top of my head, I forgot. It was just, it's amazing, man. That's where the little things matter. The little things.
Did you ever do any shit like that?
So I was just saying that.
Yeah.
The little things didn't matter enough to me as a fighter.
Yeah.
All right. I wasn't hungry enough and I wasn't there. That's it. I wasn't obsessed with the little things, you know?
Well, give me an
And
example of what you mean and what maybe you could have done differently, or what you're talking about. Maybe you know,
okay,
go for it.
okay. I was a legitimate fighter and I got better at a lot of things. Okay. Why couldn't I ever get better at staying off the ropes? And I'll tell you why. Because I didn't fucking care and I didn't work at it enough.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why I couldn't get better at being on the rope, at staying off the ropes. If I had said, fuck this, because I wanted to win so bad, I've got to learn to stay off the ropes. I'm in a much different level than I ended up being.
Is there any advantage at all to being on the ropes that any at all? Or is it purely,
Oh man, there ain't no Ray Robinsons out there, and
yeah,
he'd fight you on the ropes. He could knock you out every once in a while. Overall, the overwhelming majority of time, it's not good to have your back on the ropes.
can you get and this is
And you know why I had my back on the ropes?
why?
Tell me,
Because you didn't give a fuck.
because I didn't give a fuck enough to learn to get off the ropes. But why was I on the ropes to begin with? Honestly, because I wanted
Um,
to fight. Was it because I wanted to fight and I wanted to get nasty and I wanted to fuck somebody up?
yeah, yeah, 100%. Because you actually were enjoying the
You want the
exchange.
truth?
Go for it.
I was fucking tired. That's why you go to the ropes.
Yeah.
When you get tired, you go to the ropes. And it's, and everybody thinks, oh, he's a warrior. No, he's not. He's an out of shape motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah. Why would it help? Are you because you're leaning against the rope takes
Yeah.
it take
Yeah. It's just, plus, it makes the chance that you're going to catch him in the blend much more possible. You just say, man, let me get this motherfucker out of here. Bam, and really try to come in between and get him out of there. But that usually never comes.
did you ever knock somebody out from the ropes or stun somebody or
Oh,
put
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah. Anyone come to mind?
Uh, yeah, James Johnson was, if I remember, I didn't get off the fucking ropes. And that was early in my career before I fucking, got that reputation. I think that was my first TV fight. And
Like
then I just
seven fights in or something?
that I don't know, I think it was like 4 fights in, 3 fights in,
Oh
something like
wow.
that. And it was a draw, and it became like this local cult
Yeah,
fight
I
because it was on HTS.
great
You
fucking
know,
fight.
it was on HTS, all this shit. But yeah, that started then. I mean, there was no reason for me to fucking draw with that guy.
Yeah,
No
because
offense, no offense. He's a very good friend of mine to this day. I've talked
yeah,
to him recently, but he wasn't in my league. It
yeah,
was me not being in shape.
you just didn't want to box either.
The discipline, fucking discipline.
Yeah, yeah. And you saw it with these two guys, neither of them Bivol was hunted against the ropes, but he wasn't relying on the ropes. He was still moving. But you can tell, like I said at the ninth round, I don't do you remember the fight pretty well or
Bivol never let down. What Bivol, he never betrayed his skill. He was forced to betray his skill at times.
I was gonna say he so he took a massive body shot. I think it was in the 7th or 8th.
Yep.
And you could tell it really, he probably pissed blood 100% after that fight because of those body shots. In the 9th, he put together this amazing flurry of activity. And I texted you and I said, that was a great round by him, but I think he just gave up every bit of gas that he has. Because at the very end of that round, even though he had won the round in the 9th, Beterbiev was hunting and Bivol didn't appear to have anything left. And
Yeah.
then 10th, 11th, 12th, it was Bivol hanging on for dear life, especially the 12th. But all 3 rounds were just hunt and prey. And but for people to look at that fight and say, either fighter would rob the other one if the other one had won, just shows actually what it shows me is that most boxing fans score fights like they're amateur judges. They look at how many times somebody touches somebody and maybe a little bit of the footwork and the fancy part dazzles them and the flurries dazzle them. They get excited about the flurries, but they aren't actually understanding what they're watching, and they don't understand how to score a professional fight. They don't understand the ring generalship or the overall aggression piece. They don't even consider that. And they also don't know they're scoring as an amateur. They aren't realizing that one of the big factors in this fight is that all of Beterbiev's shots were harder for the most part than Bivol's. He had a serious power advantage through the majority of the fight.
Every second of the fight.
Well,
you know what happens
Yeah.
in a rematch?
It's bad.
It's much worse.
Bad. It's worse.
Much worse.
He's gonna just eat him because now he has the timing. Now he has the timing, and now he's just gonna walk through the attempts at the jab without much fear or respect.
It'll be round 13.
Yeah, it'll be round 13. He's just going to get back to work.
Yeah.
Bivol did nothing wrong. There's nothing he can really improve upon in a rematch. By the way, one thing you'll love it because you love this dirty shit. Did you notice how many times Beterbiev was stepping on Bivol's foot?
Oh, it was going both ways. It was going both ways.
It was, but Beterbiev, as far as feet stepping, 2-1 Beterbiev.
Yeah.
And he has to because Bivol's that quick, quick
dirty
back.
Motherfucker.
But there was a whole lot of foot stepping going on. Bivol doesn't really have much to gain in stepping on Beterbiev's foot, because he's
What do you do? What do you do when they step on your foot?
What do I do?
What's the move?
The general move is well, shit, I don't know. You tell me. My instinct would be to throw because I'm like guard and throw, but that's what my instinct would be.
Yeah. Throw.
Yeah.
Leave your foot there. Let it be stepped on.
And throw.
And throw.
Yeah. Because that they're doing it in order to throw a punch. So I try.